Hi, I haven't done a video blog or vlog in a while, so I decided it's about time I do one. And I got inspired watching somebody else's. I do that. Inspiration's good. Anyways, I do write on my blog, but I think video is fun to do as well. So today I was thinking about how some people will say, like, when you're... Well, actually, I was talking to a lady. We met at the bus stop, and we were chatting back and forth, and then I was telling her something, and I noticed her eyes were going the other direction, which usually is a sign they lost interest, something else got their interest, and sure enough, there was a friend of hers waiting for her, so I was like, oh, okay, bye, gotta go, and went my merry way. And of course, as usual, one thing makes me think of another. It makes me think of another. And I recalled, and she wasn't rude, she was very nice, it just makes me think. I recalled, like, I think more like when I was in my teens, you would, maybe you've had people do this too, where you're chatting with them and then all of a sudden they give you that, why are you giving me that information? You know, just really snobby and walk away. And I think it's just a bratty teen thing. I hope that's what it is. I suppose there probably are adults who do that because a lot of people grow up the same. And it makes you feel really dumb. And then you're like, why was I telling them that? And so that was kind of something I was musing on in my mind. And I thought, well, the memory of watching Soul Pancake when they did the balls and they put the, the ball pits like kids jump in. They put a giant one on a sidewalk area that was with a lot of people walking by, and then they put a sign there saying, come sit and meet a stranger. And then, so you'd have like two people who would just decide to do it, sit in the ball pit and talk to each other, and they'd have these bigger balls that had questions on them to help them get to know each other. And then and there was a sign saying, find something you have in common. So some of the people found stuff that they had in common right away, and some of them had to really share about their life for quite a while before they finally found a common thread. But they all found it. And the way they found it was by sharing bits and pieces of their life with each other. That's the answer to that. Why are you telling me that question? Telling each other bits and pieces of our lives is important because as humans we need to know we're not alone. We need to know that we have a common link. It's just part of keeping our sanity. And then I, of course, I thought, well, what about those people who talk too much? And they probably feel the same way. However, sometimes you get around people who don't talk and there's the awkward silence, so you get used to filling it in, or maybe you've had too much caffeine, or you have a big bad case of ADHD, and then you just talk. But then it's a good time for you to ask yourself, am I venting? Am I having a conversation, or am I preaching? Not that there's anything wrong with any of those, but does the other person know that that's what you're doing? When they feel that you're in a conversation and you're hogging the conversation, it's rude. If you need to vent, it's okay to tell somebody, I really need to vent. Or if you want to preach, it's okay to say, hey, I'm going to preach. It's not okay to make the person listen, because, the expression, do unto others as you would have them do to you. Do you want people to force you to listen? That's just not right. But you find that if you're honest with people, a lot of times they will give you the time of day and they will listen. They don't necessarily agree, but that's okay too, because how are you supposed to learn and better yourself if everyone just agrees with you and pats you on the back? Another reason for talking excessively is being afraid of people disagreeing. And that's a good fear to face and get over. Maybe even get out there and say things you think people are going to disagree with so that you can learn to handle the disagreement and learn to better yourself, to change your opinion or to make your opinion stronger because what they said doesn't make sense. It's all about bettering ourselves and taking care of each other, reaching out. So telling our stories, like when I blog. I started blogging and vlogging partly because I needed to get my story out of me. But also, so that would be the venting part. But it was also a big, huge part of it was I Googled my situation, which was basically at the time, about 3 years ago, coming out of a Christian cult. I Googled, you know, children of the cults or, you know, whatever, and there was nothing out there. I started a blog, which I can't find. It's an old one on something, I don't know what it is. Eventually I'll run into it on accident, I'm sure. And I wrote what I was going through at the time, and I only got 2 responses on it. Both people thought I was talking about music, and were disappointed. That's how much it was not out there. But I knew I wasn't the only one.